In 8 weeks tomorrow, we are going to be picking up our lives, packing them into about 6 suitcases, grabbing Izzy Moon, the Labrador, and we are getting on a plane and moving 6,000 miles away from home. This is The Becoming, a podcast about the sacred and powerful journey of awakening and becoming who you truly are.
We're your hosts, Kate and Judy Moon. As a mother-daughter duo with many years of experience in coaching and personal transformation and lifetimes of wisdom between us, together we explore what it truly means to come alive, living with deeper meaning and purpose, breaking generational chains, reclaiming freedom, and guiding the soul's return to wholeness.
Through soulful conversations about healing, transformation, and the power of MDMA-assisted therapy, along with raw, behind-the-scenes reflections and insights that illuminate the path forward, we invite you into a journey that's not just about healing your past. It's about breaking through the invisible barriers that have kept you stuck and finally stepping into the life you've always known you were meant for.
Whether you're in the middle of a heartbreak, an awakening, a breakdown, or a breakthrough, you're not alone. This is The Becoming.
Hello, and welcome back to The Becoming.
So nice to see you, Kate, again.
It's been such a while,
It
such
has.
a long time for the two of us.
Exactly.
So we have some very exciting news to share today. We have a big reveal. This is something that we have been working on, well, behind the scenes since this fall very actively, but this has been a dream and a vision that the two of us have had together
For a very, very long time.
and it has seeds that go all the way back like at least 30 years.
So
in
you
our
can't
lives.
imagine. I mean, really, when we're like looking back at where this seed was really planted.
Where this all started. It's been like at least 30 years,
Yeah.
which is insane.
So which that would have meant that you were about 10 years old.
I was like 9 or 10.
And I was like your age.
My
Kate.
age. Lord help us
Lord
all.
help us.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I know. Oh, how
So-
we've grown.
So not to like keep you in too much suspense here.
The drum roll
The drum
begins.
roll. So starting last fall, Judes and I have been working behind the scenes on a very big project that has involved a lot of us, which is part of actually why we haven't been as active with this podcast as we would have wanted to be.
We've been a little
We've
preoccupied.
been a little busy,
Our
guys.
to-do list has been
It
lengthy.
has been immense.
It's been hefty.
It's been hefty. So in 8 weeks tomorrow, Judes and I are going to be stepping on an airplane with her Labrador Izzy.
Suitcases in hand.
6 suitcases.
Izzy by our side.
And nothing else.
Say goodbye to...
We're dissolving our entire lives and we are relocating 6,000 miles away.
So can anybody guess where that might be? If you know us, you might have an idea.
If you know us, I don't think you're going to have any question in your mind where we're going. So Judes,
We're really excited.
where are we going?
We're going to Rome, Italy.
We're going to Rome. This is crazy.
We're landing in Rome. It's going to be like landing in the Wizard of Oz.
It is. It is.
Like a
Like
whole
pick up your home, except for, oh, wait, you don't have one.
Oh, guess what? We left it behind.
We left it behind, but
left it
we
behind.
will be followed by a shipping container with some of our stuff. We're liquidating a lot of our stuff. We've been already in that process, but we do have a few
KonMari.
major KonMari.
Yeah.
And it's so funny too in this process because it's not just like we have been so discerning about what makes the cut, like what gets filtered in and out. And it's like anything of the old life and the old identity is
It's
just
just
like out the window. It doesn't get to come off with its head.
Off with its head. Do we really want to take this old sweater that I've been wearing for 10 years?
Nope. We're going
Nope.
to Italy, like the capital of fashion.
Yeah,
that doesn't get to
exactly.
come.
So we're paring down quite a bit. But the truth of it is there are some things that we really do value and want to take with us.
Of course.
As we often say, Kate, not everything gets to go with us
But
to the new life.
but a few things are.
But a few things are. Many of them were like antiques,
Yeah.
things that have been in the family for years.
Exactly.
So that feels good.
Yes.
But any of those old ratty sweaters, they're just getting kicked to the curb.
They're getting kicked to the curb,
Yeah.
among many other things.
Yeah.
So I will say that for the two of us, even making this announcement does not feel real.
Just so you know, like the embodied experience isn't very embodied right now. It's still an idea. I mean, it's not concrete yet because we're not there yet.
And I think that some of the numbness of when you are changing your life to this degree actually serves us.
It's probably a protective mechanism.
It's probably a protective mechanism.
Exactly, because the change is so terrific. I mean, big. It's very large.
Yeah.
It's a very large change.
Yes.
And I think that the nervous system kind of needs to breathe with it, feel, safe within it. And it's all uncertain.
Yeah.
And so in uncertainty, we do find ways of protecting ourselves and literally just taking one step in front of the next with our to-do list.
We do. We have lists upon lists upon lists because, we're starting off with all of these things that need to occur. They also need to be orchestrated together. And then what we can see is that they just start to pare down and pare down and pare down.
Check that one off.
Check it off. And then it's literally just going to be you, me, and Izzy, 6 suitcases. Like the car is gone.
Selling the car to CarMax and,
all of that, and it's
getting in
just
the rental
us
car.
and a passport with a visa that's stamped inside, and that's it. And it's just like, and it's also
And a hope and a prayer.
a hope and a prayer. But I think there's also something really beautiful about that. We've seen this a lot in this process of like how attached we are to the stuff in life. And when we realize like actually that it's really just us and like releasing the old life and the past, it can be really confronting and vulnerable, but it's actually also very exciting and it's very liberating.
I was going to say it's very freeing.
It's very freeing.
It's very freeing to not be carrying all that like literally on our back. So really discarding and this is going to go to Salvation Army and this is going to go, X, Y, and Z.
We're selling this
and
Someone's
selling
getting
that.
this. Yeah.
It's like, it just feels like a relief to let go of these things that we have thought that have been so important, and they're really not.
That actually our earthly possessions are not as important as we think that they are.
No, they're not. They're not. So this is like a real experiment in real
So
life.
what we want to share here today, and I'm sure that we want to bring you on this journey with us. And it's not for any purposes of you being excited about what we're doing. What we're really wanting to bring to you are the lessons that we have learned along the way and who we've had to become and the old identities we've had to shed, the new ones that we've had to step into in order for this to actually occur. Because again, as we said at the very beginning, we have seeds of this being planted when I was a little girl at like 9 or 10 years old. And then if you've heard our podcast before, I had the incredible privilege of going to study abroad in Rome when I was 20 years old. And I was supposed to just go for a year. I ended up staying for 5. I fell in love with it. You came to visit me many times.
Many times. It was the most fun we ever had.
But there was no part of us that ever thought that the two of us would actually be going and doing this together at that time.
At that point, there was no possibility.
None.
In my mind.
None.
It wasn't even in my consciousness.
No.
I was so excited that you were there and that you were having this opportunity. But I never could see that it never occurred to me that would be something that would be a possibility.
I think that as we've reflected on this a lot over the years that this has been in actually kind of simmering under the surface, because we've wanted to do this, it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago that the idea of us actually doing this together came up.
It's like, what if we could do
What if
that? What
like,
if we
what
could
if
do
we
that?
could really live in Italy
Yeah,
together?
yeah.
I've always loved it. I never really wanted to come back. The reason that I came back to the US was it was kinda twofold. I couldn't actually get a visa beyond another student visa unless I got married and just, went down that path. And and then the other thing is that I knew that there was more for me than I was working as a tour guide. I would go and
Because you studied art
I studied
history
art history. My
and
degree was in art
yeah,
history. I was working as a tour
which is
guide.
fabulous
It was
for
in it
what, a
was
t
in
22-year-old or 20.
20 yeah, between, like, 21 and 25.
Yeah.
I saw the path. If I continued down that path, I I would be guiding in the Sistine Chapel, and I'd look around, and I would see my professors who had PhDs,
And
and
we're
they were, like,
brilliant,
world experts in their
amazing.
field, and they were also guiding. Like, they were making more money than I was because they were working with a different clientele. They were working with more, like, of an academic clientele, but they were doing the same thing I was doing because they couldn't make enough money as
As
professors.
professors.
So I
And
s
that would have been perhaps the path that you would go down
Yeah,
in
if
terms
I'm
of
gonna stay
teaching.
there and continue in art history, like,
You'd have
that's
to get
gonna be
more
the path.
more education.
And I felt like there was more for me. What I and this is really, I think, the crux of what we wanna share here today.
We just never know. We just never know what's around the corner. But you followed
Well, and we can only connect the dots
dots going
looking
back.
backwards, as Steve Jobs
Yes.
said.
So we can now look at the dots. We can now connect the dots looking backward.
Yeah.
But at the time, you made the best decision you knew to make at that time. And that was when you decided, I think I'm gonna come back to the States
Yep.
and actually
I'm gonna start over.
you're gonna start over. And so, I mean, what you had done 5 years prior to that was you were waiting tables, and it was like, "Okay,
Exactly.
so that's not gonna be my life."
Yep.
So that's when you and I linked arms and decided to start our coaching business.
We went and we got certified as coaches together. This is now 14 years ago,
So you were
guys.
like 25 years old, and I was
A
still
little a little
I know,
whippersnapper.
and I was still hospice nursing, and I loved what I did, and I was really good at it, actually, but I knew that I needed to do something that had to do with life,
Mhm.
that was where I really wanted to sink my teeth into and put my attention on, and becoming a coach had been actually something I wanted to do for years,
Years.
but I was working.
Yeah.
I was working a job.
Yeah.
I was working a full-time
You
job, and I
were.
didn't have that I didn't feel like I had that opportunity to do that. However, when you came back to the States, we decided, "Okay, we're both gonna work, and we're both gonna get trained as coaches."
Yep.
And that's what we did, and
It is.
that was, what, 14 years ago.
Yep.
And that seed that we planted 14 years ago, Kate, that was a seed that has sprouted over the years, over the ups and downs of
Oh,
being
yeah.
entrepreneurs, and we're not gonna forget that because
No,
that's
we're not
part
gonna downplay that.
no, because
A
it's
lot
not
of valleys,
a lot of valleys,
some mountaintops,
so
but a lot of
a lot of
valleys.
valleys and a lot of perseverance and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of, "Are we crazy?"
Yeah.
But we continued to invest in ourselves, become more educated,
Underscore become more skilled,
be
invested,
skilled,
invested, invested,
invested,
invested.
become more skilled,
Yeah.
invested.
Yeah.
And so here we are today, and it's because of the business that we
Mm.
started 14 years ago and
Mm.
incorporated
Mhm.
as Moon Transformational Coaching,
Mhm.
Incorporated,
Mhm.
that allowed us to get our digital nomad visas.
Digital nomad visas, y'all.
Y'all.
It
It's because
is.
of what we did 14 years ago, and did we have any idea where that was gonna lead us?
And it's what we've done all along the way, and it
Yeah.
really has been we will share more about this specifically in another episode about the actual process of going through and having this visa approved.
because
But
it has a lot a lot of meat and bones on it.
it does. There's like we learned so much in this process that we want to
Mhm.
share with you. But it's what we've been willing to do all along the way, and to look back and see like, oh my gosh, we didn't even know that when we were doing something 5 years ago, how it was going to translate to this dream actually unfolding for us, because the two of us, neither of us have any like a drop of Italian blood. We couldn't get a
Yeah.
pass like any citizenship in any other EU country, and so our only path has been to come into Italy through with a visa. So that has been the process that we've been in since last fall. Secretly, we didn't share this with really anyone outside of our very close friend group, but the real reason that we went to Italy last fall.
Was to really check it out to see, did we still like,
Right on.
we needed to put it on again because it had
Yeah,
been a handful of years since we'd been there.
yeah.
Was this still really our dream? Because we knew in our heads that it's a pretty big deal to make this transition. You don't know it until you actually are embodying it,
Mhm.
which we are embodying it right now, that it is a big deal.
Yeah. A lot of
Um,
moving pieces. If you know anything about Italian bureaucracy, that right there could have you clutching your pearls. It's real, y'all.
it's real. And even just, I mean, and leaving a home that am not the literal home, but being in the United States is one part of me says, "Yes, I'm out of here." And there's another part of me that like, so I'm also leaving my son and his wife and my grandson Oren and a new little grandbaby that's going to be born
Mhm.
early September.
Cute.
And so it requires a change of perception, I will say,
Yeah.
and perspective, and just to really not get in the old thinking of it being constrictive, but what if this could be expansive?
Mhm.
What if this could be expansive for everyone involved?
Mm.
And also that, I mean, with technology now, it's like, Kate, when you were there, what was it, 20 years
20
ago,
years ago.
we were Skyping back and forth almost on a daily
You
basis.
guys remember Skype?
And it saved our lives, really.
Yeah.
It saved our relationship.
But I had like a Nokia flip phone back then. Like, we have come
I know.
so far.
I had a house phone.
You had a landline.
In a
Anarchy. I
landline. I
can't even
know, I know.
imagine.
I
Yeah.
know. Oh.
Well, I mean, for me, I've lived there before, and even this feels pretty darn surreal for me. But
Mhm.
you are also, you're going to be 73 years old when you pick up and move to another country, and not to retire.
Not to
Oh,
retire.
and that's the other thing, guys, in case anyone was like, afraid of like, we're moving our whole business too. Like, that's
Yeah.
actually why we get to go,
Why we're
because
able to go. It's
essentially
our livelihood.
this is like a self-employment visa. And it's
Yeah.
because that we've been in self-employed all these years that we were approved for this.
I mean, that's obviously one reason why I never could have envisioned myself moving to Italy,
Yeah.
because I was a hospice nurse at the time.
Exactly.
And I was, rooted here in
Exactly.
the States.
So, but
But
there's a lot here that clearly has had to, like, how you see yourself, what you see as possible in your life
yeah.
has had to evolve tremendously in order to get to this point where you and I are walking this thing out, and you're actually at 73 years old willing to do what most people at any age aren't going to do.
I'm gonna learn a new language
You are going to learn a new
eventually.
language. Yeah,
I'm
piano,
gonna
piano.
we're gonna get driver's license.
No, no.
Is
No, no, no. We're getting learner's
learner we
permits.
start with
We get to,
learner's
like,
permits.
be, like, 16 years old again, and we have to go to driving school again at 40 and
And
73
73.
years old. Like, what a time to be alive, guys.
Yeah,
Literally,
what a
our just
time.
yeah, like, driver's license don't transfer, so we
Yeah.
get to go through that whole process again and literally start with a learner's permit.
Yeah. And the sense of adventure
Mhm.
is grand, and this is the thing about creating something in your life that really matters.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about visioning and how to go from A to B and, what it is to manifest. And it is about connecting the dots backwards. What are some of the things that like were our interests, so many years ago,
Yeah.
Kate? Going to Italy, traveling. We had an idea. I actually had, that was back in 1989
Yeah.
that I started I was also nursing at the same time, but I started a little side business
Yeah.
with a network marketing company,
Health and wellness.
health and wellness, and I was totally into, vitamins, nutrition, and all of that, so it was a perfect
Eco
fit.
cleaning products
And
when that before that was cool.
I know, and we were having, like, these house parties. I mean, eh, it was so 1989.
So 1999 89,
And it
baby.
wasn't 99, it was 89. And it was because I had a dream of living a bigger life.
Yeah.
And, and there's nothing wrong with having a nursing job. It's a very wonderful profession. But for me, I just wanted to have more freedom
Yeah.
and more possibility in my life. And I remember the conversations where we could travel and we could earn, trips to go to different countries. And there was a trip that was being offered to Italy. So, not fast forward,
Rewind.
rewind to you being like, what, 9,
Yep.
just about, and me being about your age.
Yep.
And there was a trip that was being offered to Italy that
Yep.
I could have earned. And so I had a photo of Italy, you know, a picture on my dream board, vision board, and you had
I literally have a picture of my childhood bedroom, and it I was taking a picture of I played the violin, and so I had my violin case open on my bedspread, and one of the cats had climbed into
inside
into it 'cause I
into
was
the
holding
case.
like, while I was practicing, and then the other cat's there, so I took a picture of these 2 cats and my childhood bedroom,
But what was
and
behind there, Kate?
there was a poster of Rome, of literally Castel Sant'Angelo, which is right next to the Vatican. It's like one of the battlements of Rome, like, and the bridges of Rome. Like, are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, this is you can't make
You
this
can't
stuff
make this
up.
stuff up.
I don't know if you guys have, ever seen The Secret, but John Asseroff
Yeah.
on The Secret talks about, like, you know, years ago, he had a vision board. He was like broke. Like, I don't know. I don't remember if he was homeless. Like, they're all homeless at one point or something, like living out of their car. And, he had, I guess in his car, he had like a vision board and it had this big mansion on it. And, he then just goes about life. And years later, he moves into this really huge mansion and he's like unpacking all these boxes that the movers had moved in. And he's pulling something out and he's like unfurling this vision board of his, and he literally moved into the house that was on his vision board, and he had
He
no
had no idea.
idea.
There were years and years of span between that vision board that he created and him moving into that home. And so this is the thing. It's like, so there were years
Now, like
between
30 years later,
was
I'm moving to
that
Rome, like,
poster
permanently.
that poster right next, that you slept
Underneath.
underneath for like, I don't know how many years.
I mean, I'm sorry, what 9-year-old has, like, like, instead of, like, a boy band on their wall, I'm like, "No, I have Rome
I have
on
it on
my
my wall.
wall."
Exactly. Only Kate Moon would have that. So, and then we do fast forward. Go
Well,
ahead.
but that again, those were the seeds of a love of Italy. Like, neither of us I didn't have a passport.
It was a vision. It was like, oh,
It
wouldn't
was
that
a
be
it was a
fabulous? It was a
fantasy.
fantasy.
It was a fantasy.
Now that trip didn't actually happen,
Mm-mm.
but the seed had been planted.
Yep.
And we were very close friends with a family who
Mhm.
had been to Italy several times.
Yep.
And so they would come back and they would bring back these beautiful Venetian masks and, all these, I mean,
I remember they brought me back, like, this,
a gorgeous pen,
a
right?
pen, like a fountain pen from Venice that was, like, blown glass, that
Yeah.
was, like it was, like, magnificent. It was, like,
Oh, beauty.
it's all a 9-year-old wants. It's a
Exactly.
fountain pen from Venice, obviously.
Totally. So we were living, all things Italy vicariously
Yeah.
through them and their experience. So that became one of our visions, our goals.
Yep.
And we actually had our first trip to Italy.
Yep.
So this story I think is worth telling.
Yes.
Okay, so Kate went to
We're
this.
connecting the dots looking backwards,
We're
guys.
connecting the dots going backwards. Okay, so Kate went to this private school, great private school for high school
Mhm.
and middle school.
Mhm.
And everyone is, when it comes to college time, everyone's going to the Ivy League schools, everybody's applying to, this and that and everything else. Well, Kate did not get into her dream school. I'm going to put that in quotes because now it's
Look,
like
like real loose
real
quotes.
because like now,
Yeah.
thank God she never went there. We know better now, but so she and okay, you were disappointed. Of course, you were
Yeah.
disappointed. And then the other schools that you were applying to, like nothing, nothing really was like a really yes.
Well, and interestingly, even what I thought was my dream school, I think it was just
Meh.
sort of like the best of what we had seen, and nothing was like really I didn't know what I wanted to do, like, I was always a little bit different than
Yeah. Well,
like everybody else,
would you say
and
so?
so it was like it was more just like I felt so directionless,
Yeah.
was really
Well, and
where I landed with
and
all of this.
probably most kids do
Or
at
yeah,
that
many,
time.
yeah,
Many kids do, and yet it evidently was not the university that was gonna, save your life. So
right,
you chose to go to a state school,
yep,
and the 2 of us thought, "Okay, so the plus about this is that we could see each other much more easily."
yeah.
So that was great.
'Cause we were like besties, like
I mean, to
we
just
were
like
besties
we
then, like
were
we are
besties then.
now,
Okay.
yeah.
So not a whole lot's changed, except the
Except
age.
for everything,
Except for everything.
except for everything,
Except we're moving to Rome.
except for now we're gonna go live in Italy.
Exactly.
So I go to a in-state school.
Yeah, and you
It
hated it.
I really, really hated
Hated
it,
it.
yeah.
But what we did do before she hated it, we decided, okay, so you're going to a state school. Let's every year choose a place to travel to.
Yeah,
And so guess where we traveled to first?
yeah.
A trip to Italy.
Mhm.
So we booked tickets for a 3-week trip to Italy
Yep.
and had the time of our
Mhm.
lives.
Yep.
Well, that being said, Kate, you decided like, okay, so I'm not going to stay at this this day school. I want to study
Well, I
in
was like,
Italy.
"Well, they seem to have a lot of art history lying around here. Maybe I could study that.
Wouldn't that be?
Wouldn't that be a vibe? And
Yeah,
maybe then I could come and actually live here."
yeah.
And so that was where that whole thing started. It's
But that was going to be a temporary
it was gonna
situation.
be it was gonna be 1 year, then it turned into 5 years. I mean, clearly, there's
Yeah.
something and I will say this too, is that there are so many things that we truly love about Italy. And when we were there last October and
Mhm,
November, trying this on again, feeling into it, being
mhm.
like, is this just like a fantasy that we've sort of exaggerated in our minds? Is this something really real? There's a lot involved in this decision. Like, guys, like a
A
lot
lot of
involved.
logistics
Oh my God.
and the fact that we are self-employed is there's a whole other ball of wax with all of that
Yeah.
in terms of, taxes and, being US citizens and having a visa. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's
complex. So there
complex.
are a lot of hoops to jump through and you have to really want it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we know that you have to really want it because the hoops are pretty
They're pretty
significant.
significant. But I remember, so we went to Rome, we went a little bit outside of Rome, like into Umbria, Lazio, and then we went to Florence, and then you were heading back.
Yeah. And you're going to
Um,
stay an extra
I
week.
was staying an extra week, and so we were on, like, the second to last day,
Yes.
and we were sitting at our favorite wine bar in the neighborhood of Monti, which is called Ai Tre Scalini. So, we're having lunch and a glass of wine at Ai Tre Scalini, and we're talking about this, like, "Okay, do we really go for this?" Because
Yeah.
we know that at a certain point, we can't just keep sitting on the fence.
We have to make a
We
decision.
have to make a decision.
This is kind of a yes or no, like line in the sand moment.
And what we have recognized is that we have a really beautiful life. Like, we have worked really hard
Mm.
to have the life that we have now. We have a really beautiful life here in Santa Fe. There are so many aspects of our day-to-day life that light us up, which is such a blessing. Like, that is such a privilege to have gotten to this place. And we recognize that so many people would see the level of
Ease.
ease, the passion for what we do, our like, the way that we've set up our lives, that many people from the outside would look at this and say, "This is, like, exactly the life that I want."
We weren't discontent necessarily, but we were actually not running away from something, but running towards
Yeah.
something that was even bigger.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we allow ourselves for the even greater still?
Yeah.
Do we step into that? Do we is is that a match for our identity?
Right.
Like, who were we to actually make this big dream come true? And
Yeah.
knowing what we had to do ahead of us, that it might not occur,
Exactly.
that we were going to apply to the Italian consulate for a visa.
But are they even gonna think that we qualify? Again, like,
Yeah.
this is a self-employment thing, like, we need to be able to show that we're actually specialized workers, like, that this isn't just,
We are
like, an
good
entry.
stewards of our work.
Yeah, and, like, this isn't, like, entry level, like, we have to create a whole case for
And
this.
we might put, all of our blood, sweat, and tears into this visa process, and we might get denied.
Yeah,
Then we can look at, it's so easy here. I
right.
mean, we hop in our car and we zip over to Whole Foods or our co-op,
Yeah, like 10,
and
15 minutes, we're, like, hiking a mountain.
yeah, I mean, it exactly,
Yeah.
and amazing outdoors,
Yeah, I, like, walk to ballet here, like, everything is,
and
like,
Izzy has this great backyard,
it's
and,
all so easy.
yeah, it's all so easy, and it's not gonna be that way, and we
No,
know that.
no,
And so it's like, so do we want the easy life, which there's nothing wrong with that,
no.
or do we want something that's gonna
Do we
really
want
cause us to grow,
So do
is
we
the
want
truth.
the easy life or do we want the bigger life?
We want the bigger life, and
Yeah.
so
We've
we
historically
yeah.
loved to blow up our lives in order to live the bigger life. Like, this is just
No,
something we're, like, have, like, a talent for.
evidently,
But
evidently.
what I will say too is that this process, it has been over these months, it's harder than I even thought, and I
Mhm.
knew a lot of, like, the logistics because I've seen like,
Well,
I
you
never
lived there, Kate.
well, I did, but I was, like, a student, so I
Sure.
went in through a student visa, but I saw so many people struggle in this process to get accepted for visas to work and live in Italy,
Yeah.
so I knew all of that, but I think the piece that I was not necessarily prepared for in the same way is the level of uncertainty in this process and how we have had to get so comfortable inside of the uncertainty. Just be like, so we
There's
do our best on our side. We're going to prepare the best possible application that we possibly can. We're going to try and orchestrate all of these moving pieces to the best of our abilities. However, at a certain point, we have to release this. We surrender it over to, like, a higher power because we're
Mhm.
not the ones that are saying you can go.
Yeah.
There was a force outside of us that was like, stamp of approval or
Or
denial.
not, or not. And every day there's uncertainty, Kate,
Yeah.
as we step each day closer to our departure date.
Yeah.
We have no idea how it's going to actually be.
No.
And that's part of this whole bigger life. Living in a life that's really comfortable. I'm going to say there's nothing wrong for it. And a bigger life might not be, it's not for the faint of heart.
Well, and we're not here to promote Italy. We're here to
No.
promote like, we're
Well,
not, like, selling, like, a package about, like, the move to Italy visa
you,
package.
you too could go to Italy. This is for each one of you, that whatever is in your heart and whatever your desires,
What is your Rome?
yeah, what is your
Not
Rome?
like Rome is our thing, Italy is
Yeah.
our thing. What is your version of this that feels
That's a
really big and is gonna require a bigger version of you, and it's gonna require uncertainty
That's out
and
of your comfort zone, that you don't know how to do it. Actually, if you knew how to do it, like if we knew every step, I mean, we've got guidelines about what the steps are, but we have no idea what's going to be involved. I mean, it's going to be a whole other ball of wax once we get there.
Mhm.
And, it's easy for me to say, well, I'm going to learn the language. Well, I
You
remember
are, yes,
I
you
will.
will.
And I love just having a little chit chat with somebody casually here and there into the grocery store, whatever. I'm not gonna be able to do that
Right,
right away.
right.
I'm not gonna be comfortable doing that. I'm gonna go to language school. I'm gonna feel
I'm
like
gonna go to driver's school in
in
Italiano.
Italiano. It's a challenge, and it's easy to say it in my head that I'm gonna do it, but, you walk in and you start doing it and you feel like you don't even know how to speak,
Yeah, because you don't yet.
because guess what? You don't.
Yeah,
So those are the realities.
it's humbling.
It is humbling.
Yeah.
It is humbling.
But you and I also are people that are tend to be sort of ravenous for challenge for whatever
Evid
re
e
evidently,
ev
that's just,
ev
like, how we came in
evidently,
here.
evidently, but, you know, and it doesn't have again, it doesn't have to be Italy for we're not selling Italy, but, you know, what is something that you've really wanted for
Mhm.
a long time in your life
Yeah.
and that you know that you wish that you had all the answers about how it was gonna happen, but you can't.
Yeah.
That's the thing about life. We don't know.
We just
We
don't.
have to take that have to make that decision, have to take that first step, have to be able to have enough faith and trust in ourselves that when we get to that next juncture, we're gonna know what that next step is going to be.
I also feel like over many years, you and I have been developing a lot of spiritual muscle in order to be
Yeah,
able to do something at this level.
yeah.
You know, we didn't start off like
No.
with this massive skyscraper. There have been other things that we
Well,
have
this is
done.
like, what, 600 level personal development.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's really true. We've been in personal
Yeah.
development since I started with that first business way
Mhm.
back when you were 3 years old,
Exactly.
Kate,
Yeah.
when I started that
Yep.
business. Yep. It's been my passion of growing myself all these
Absolutely.
years about what are the possibilities in life
Yeah.
and loving the magic and the mystery of how it all ends up turning out. And, you know, it's a long arc
Mhm.
and it begins with an interest many years ago.
Yeah. Something for me, because people ask all the time, like, "Why would you want to live in Italy?" Like, what actually is the driver? And for some people, like, you'll hop on, we know people in Italy that they're actually helping other people to move there, like, they're
Yeah.
creating a business out of helping people to move there.
Mhm.
And so it's like, "So what is it for you? Is it the wine? Is it the
Food.
food? Is it, the culture?" And it's so interesting because, I mean, it's not like I am mad at any of those things. I love all of those aspects of Italy.
Except darn it,
I know we don't really drink alcohol anymore.
it's kinda like
What timing is this? Like,
I
how did this all
how did this
transpire?
happen? I know, darn it.
For me, there is an experience that I have when I am in Italy, also in Europe, but it's really in Italy.
Mhm.
And it is an experience that I don't have anywhere else. It's an experience of awe
Mm.
that I can tap into when I am there on a daily basis. Simply walking out of the house and being in the outdoor museum of Rome brings me so much meaning. I also am a total history geek. I am an art history
Well,
geek.
and that's why.
I have
Yeah,
studied
Kate,
this stuff
totally.
for so long, and I have a lot of context, and so these things mean things to me
Mhm,
that they might not, like, standing in front of a statue for me
mhm.
of, like, Michelangelo's Moses. It means something to me that it might not mean to someone else, but the only other place that I get that feeling of awe is when I'm in nature,
Yeah.
and I think that it's worth each one of us exploring the things that feel
What is your awe?
awe-inspiring
Yeah.
and that feel magnificent
Mhm.
and bigger than life, and pursuing those and putting ourselves in as close proximity as we can. So that to me, like, I'm not moving there because there's great pasta. Great pasta is a fantastic added benefit that we probably won't even eat that much because god damn
Exactly.
it, we're always, like,
I
trying to
know it.
prioritize protein.
I know it.
So it's not about that. It's like I want to live the majority of my life feeling like I am in awe of history, of
Mm.
art, of the human experience, of our mortality, like, that these are the things that to me, Italy brings so much closer for me.
And so finding one's right place. I mean, I love that too. I never studied art history like you did,
Not yet.
not yet.
Mm.
But when we go to I mean, I get the best tour guide in Rome
Get
right
a little
here.
history lesson
A
every
little
time
history I
we
mean,
hit
it's
up a
yeah.
a church or yeah.
But what it is for me, I think I was just born for adventure.
Yeah.
I
Sagittarius rising.
It is
Yep.
Sagittarius rising and also kinda going into that next level
Yeah.
of I get bored with complacency.
Yeah.
I do. And I do like to challenge myself, even though it's really uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
And I put myself in some tricky situations. And it's like, somebody might say, well, my God, you're 73 years old. Aren't you thinking about your health? You know, and it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get into your 70s and then
Mhm.
80 is right around the corner there. And these are things to consider. And I just, I'm going to figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to hold me back from experiencing something that I would never have experienced if I was concerned about that.
Right.
I mean, I do believe that everything is figure outable,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
And it's just the adventure of a lifetime, learning and growing,
Yep.
pushing myself, not like pushing hard, but like challenging
Challenging
myself.
yourself.
And that's just something that evidently I'm a glutton for punishment for.
Well, I
Yeah.
also think that there's a reason that, like, this is the 73-year-old that's sitting in front of me, like, someone who is extremely fit, totally in love with life, pursuing passions, actually incredibly ambitious. That is all those things have made you, you. And I think
I
that
think it's
that's
the challenge.
yeah,
I like the
so
challenge.
do I.
Yeah.
And Lord knows, guys, like, if you follow along this journey, like, there are gonna be a lot of challenges. We're gonna share. We're, like, happy to share what we're going through, like, the ups and the downs that the
Yeah.
I know that there will be moments that we're like, "This is so hard," but I do suspect, and I will report back at one point
That
at the other side of
we
this.
will never look back and say, "I wish we
I
hadn't
don't
done
think that there's
this."
ever gonna be
No,
a part of us that says that
no,
we wish that we hadn't
no,
done
me
this.
either.
And one thing too, when it came to
Mhm.
finally making this decision, it was that moment when we were sitting at that wine bar on the second to last day that you were in Rome, and we were really, again, wrestling with that decision, like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, I think that we would love it here. I think that we would do so well. Are we really going to do
Are
this?
we gonna do this?
Are we making this decision?"
And we paused, and we said, Santa Fe on one hand, which is, a lovely life, as you said, Kate, we
Yep.
minutes to hiking up, like, a grand mountain and nature, and it's beautiful, or
Ease of living.
the ease of living, or Rome, or Italy.
Yep.
Weren't sure it was gonna be Rome at that point. And looked at you. I looked at my 39-year-old daughter who was gonna be turning 40, and with a life ahead of you, Kate, a magnificent possibility of a life ahead of you. And I said, "I don't want Santa Fe to be enough for you."
Yeah.
And I paused,
Yeah.
and I said, "And I don't want Santa Fe to be enough for me either."
Mhm.
And it's whatever one Santa Fe, quote unquote, Santa Fe is, in the sense that it would be a good life, but there wouldn't be a whole lot of challenge. There wouldn't be a whole lot of growth. We we do the routine. We know the routine. There was something about really getting out of our comfort zone and doing something so, like, insanely crazy that is like it lights me up
Yeah.
because it's like, why not? We live this one life. I mean, I wanna live it fully. I have no idea how many years I'm gonna be blessed with,
I know.
but I want these years to be live it full out and seeing and experiencing things that I never would have
Yeah.
if I chose the comfortable life for
Yeah.
me. And again, that's just me.
Totally.
But what might be the challenge or the bigger life for any of our listeners
Yeah.
that is that next step for you that you would love, but you can feel yourself holding yourself back? What's really holding you back?
The other thing that really clicked in for me
Mm.
at making this
Yeah.
decision is that I'd heard someone else that was living in Italy, and they when they were making that decision,
Oh,
like,
I remember you said this. Yes.
like, "Okay, like, we live a good life here in California. Are we picking up? Are we, like,
Uprooting
uprooting, creating
life.
this whole massive challenge for
Are we
ourselves?"
absolutely insane?
And one of their friends asked the question, "If you only had 2 years left to live, what would you choose? Would you choose to uproot, to move, to have the adventure, or would you choose to stay? And it was like, as soon as I heard that, it was instant. Like, oh, if I knew that I only had 2 years left to live, there is not a question in my mind where I would want that to be.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Oh,
the
okay.
decision's made then.
It's
And
made.
then everything else beyond that really does become details, and it's not that they're not incredibly challenging
Mhm.
details, but they really it's like the hardest part is actually making the decision that we're really going for it.
Because that's when we get confronted with all the uncertainty
Yep.
and that sense of we're wired for safety. And so something new and outside of our comfort zone does not feel safe.
Exactly.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
So are we gonna confront that part of us that stops us from doing something that's uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna
Are we gonna take the risk?
take the risk? And usually that risk is
The new life is always better than the old life. Like, that's never not been true
yeah,
in my
yeah.
experience.
And you can always take a left-hand turn, and you can always,
You could also do
if
a Yui.
a
You could
Yui.
pull a Yui if you need to.
I've done a Yui
So have
before in
I.
my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
do a Yui.
I know.
Nothing's ever permanent except death.
Exactly, exactly.
And honestly, when you're saying that, Kate, if you had 2 years to live, this is exactly why I left hospice nursing,
I know, Jutes.
and I decided I wanted to be a coach, and I wanted to help people live.
Yeah.
I want to help people live
Amen.
a full life and not hold back because of all the fears and all the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Yep,
That's what I wanted.
yep.
And I guess that's what I'm demonstrating right here and right now.
You are
Yeah.
the living example. I'm going to wrap up today with one of our favorite
Oh, I
quotes
love
that has
this.
been around for, I mean, in our lives for basically my whole life. But this is from W.H. Murray. He was a mountaineer who hiked the Himalayas. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for being here today. Again, we want to leave you with this is not about our journey. This is really about what is your Rome?
What is your journey?
What are all the roads in your life leading to? Ours, all roads have been leading to Rome. What are the roads in your life leading to? And what do you need to march boldly towards?
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you in the next episode. And
Ciao for now.
ciao for now.
Thank you so much for listening to The Becoming.
We'd love for you to join our growing community. Please subscribe to the podcast, share this episode with a friend, and leave a 5-star review.
It truly means the world to us and helps others to find their way here too. We'll see you in the next episode.